Washington State.
Okay.
We going?
We've probably been going for
I
the
know.
last 20 minutes.
We'll make sure with producer Steve.
Recording.
Yep. Welcome back to Worse Than 10. It is Wednesday the 28th.
No, it
today.
can't be the 28th. 26th.
26th.
Idiot.
I'm looking forward to our next drafts. The world is falling apart. We're not going to touch a lot on that, but NBA playoff games for today have been canceled.
Yes. Before we get any further, though, make sure you follow us.
Please follow us. Give us a like, share.
Comment.
Please comment on all of our platforms. Yeah.
Yeah.
And share to a friend and let a friend know. Yes.
There you go.
Thanks.
Okay. Now, with that being said,
Yeah.
the NBA playoffs put on hold because the Milwaukee Bucks chose not to play, which is, one of those things. But what was really cool was, I think, the most surreal moment for me, because they showed the Bucks being out there, or didn't show up. The Magic were out there, and then the Magic went back. Then the referees left, and they started taking things down, and then went back to TNT's NBA Inside with like Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, and then Kenny Smith actually stood up and said, "I gotta support my players," and walked off, and that was surreal. But
now after that, the other two playoff games.
Yeah, the
scheduled
whole
for today.
playoffs.
Do you think is it there's no plan yet as we're recording right now, which will come out later tonight, hopefully the audio, but how do you cancel today's games and not tomorrow's?
I think George Hill said it best. He's a player for the Milwaukee Bucks, and that is there's a lot more going on than basketball right now. And at this point, playing a game isn't probably what's best. But if you think about it, we all need an escapism at some point, and sports bring that escapism.
It does.
And that's why we love our football so much.
Yeah.
Because it gives us a sense of community. It gives us a reason to watch. We get together on Sundays. We watch games together.
Yeah.
It's part of what we are.
And just fancy football drafting is an amazing escape. And this podcast is an amazing escape.
And when we don't have those sports, when we don't have that kind of stuff, people are kind of, encased in this situation. And the shit show that's going on in America right now.
In New Orleans is going to be hit with a tornado bigger than Katrina, supposedly.
Laura, but I've heard the preparation for it is a lot better than what was prepared for Katrina. But who knows?
What they told people to leave before early enough? Hopefully,
the levies I think are more.
Also, producer Steven said some baseball games have been canceled today too.
The Milwaukee Brewers, Cincinnati Reds were the first team to say that they weren't going to play today, which makes sense. Wisconsin being the whole Blake thing.
The Lions canceled practice. They're not even Green Bay didn't cancel practice, but the Lions did.
Yeah, Detroit's pretty close to Wisconsin.
Is it close?
That's.
It was closer. Okay.
It's closer than us.
So things are going to get worse before they get better on this. It's not good. But let's just talk about sports.
Let's talk about football.
Yeah.
We had fantasy
football.
Yes.
I did want to say that this show is brought to you by wearing a mask. Everyone should wear a mask. I want to say, especially people on motorcycles. When you're riding a motorcycle, wear a mask because I don't want your air breath coming into my car and being blasted in my face through the AC. Don't you think? I'm totally kidding.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. If anything, if you breathe on a motorcycle, it's coming right back in your own face.
Yeah.
You're stupid.
I know. I just want to throw that. I saw a guy on a motorcycle wearing a mask. I was like, what the fuck?
When you see somebody,
but don't motorcycles people wear the masks because they don't want dirt and bugs flying in their mouths?
Yeah, sometimes. But this wasn't. It was a medical mask.
I don't know.
I wear it in the wintertime just to get something
to heat up your face.
Heat it up a little bit.
Okay.
But when I see somebody in a car by themselves with a mask on, I think It might be too much.
But
I've
maybe
done
they're
it
an
a
Uber
time.
driver and they have someone in the back you don't see. I hope that. but it's-
I've done it times when I'll go out for like a run or I go to like Walmart and I have the mask on and I just kind
you
of
just forget.
I just forget I'm in my car. I'm
It's going to be
driving,
like that. You got to wear them till at least mid-January
That's fine.
in this state. So
I really could care less. It's not that
I
big
hate
of a
it.
deal.
I'm on board, but I don't love doing it. But
Like
So-
Zoom.
Football.
Like Zoom.
Let's talk
Yeah.
football.
yes, we had 2 fantasy football drafts last Sunday.
This past
Steven-
Sunday.
Yes, Steven was in the first one. It's a worst in 10 draft. We're going to dissect that draft and talk about
We're gonna grade them.
grade them. How horrible some were, and for those of you doing fantasy football drafts coming up or this weekend, and hopefully everyone's doing. That's where you're watching this show. We had 4 people on Zoom, right?
God, that
Because
was
a lot of people. Some people were out of town. Some people didn't feel safe. Dave was on a conference call with work on a Sunday. I don't fucking know why, but
it. Why? First off, I understand if you're not feeling safe, you maybe have like a cold and you still want to participate. Fine, we got them on. the
yeah,
show.
we'll work with it.
But it was a shit show
It was terrible
because
on Zoom.
I think the problem was they weren't paying attention.
They weren't.
Pete was great.
Yeah.
He never asked for another draft pick. He
Yeah.
wasn't doing anything. I
But
guarantee
some people
you,
asked,
he
like,
was
who
sitting
were the
here
last 10 people drafted? And we're like,
and he was
oh.
crossing everybody off. Meanwhile, repeat the last whole draft. Fuck you, pay attention. And then we had our second draft.
3 of the 4 people were not crossing players off and paying attention.
Exactly. And then we had a second draft right after that with one guy on Zoom, Will, paying attention. Never had a problem the whole time.
And he actually didn't feel safe. He wanted to stay at home, which I think was the reason. And he paid attention, and it was awesome.
So if you guys are on
It was
Zoom,
an hour less.
if you are going to be Zooming anybody in, make sure they are paying attention or your drafts
Yes.
are going to take forever.
They're going to drag on forever. Yeah.
Because, it
So
was
most people, a lot of them do digital, don't they?
Yeah, and that's what we did for my family draft this year. Is we did
Only online? Yeah.
And we everybody zoomed in just to kind of like talk and talk shit to each other.
Oh, yeah,
but
that's cool.
the Zoom was just there for us to talk. It wasn't part
Maybe
of the
we'll
draft.
try that this Sunday. We also have 2 drafts this Sunday, too.
Yeah,
Nick and I are in 4. Steven is in 1, the first one we did.
I'm in 5.
Oh, my God. All money?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because when
family
people
leagues-
include their free leagues, that doesn't count.
The
That's
family
bullshit.
league is not nearly as expensive, but
Okay.
still
So we're going to talk about our first draft. It's a 12-person, no PPR standard draft.
right.
And the first thing that happened, Larissa was number 1 pick. We drew out of a hat. Patrick Mahomes. What do you think of that right out of the gate?
We talked about it that he wasn't going to fall out of the first round.
No.
He's a very reliable quarterback. I like him, and he's a great.
He actually
pick.
went first in both of our drafts.
Yep.
Number 1 pick. He probably will next week too, unfortunately.
Why don't we? Do we want to go through rounds, or do we just want to start with Larissa's team?
I don't know. Do you want to
now?
go through like the first round and how people fell, and then we'll go by team?
Okay, that
Okay.
works. So yeah, Larissa went round 1, or pick 1 with Patrick Mahomes, and solid, reliable pick. You can't go wrong with it. You know what he's going to do. The only thing that could detriment that pick is if he gets hurt, which is always really good to have for your pick. And
That's what sucks at number 1. You're really all in on
yes,
that pick.
you've got to make sure that is the reliability. Personally, if I had number 1, I probably would have gone with a running back situation. But, you can't be upset with a Patrick Mahomes.
It was predictable. But then it went McCaffrey, Elliott, Barkley. Kamara fell to 5, which I was surprised. And then Dalvin Cook. Derrick Henry.
We had a big run on running backs there. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs in a row.
Yep. Then Michael Thomas, Tyreek Hill, Aaron Jones, Nick Chubb, 2 people I was surprised at that point they were still in the first round. They should have fallen. And then Travis Kelce.
So when you look at the running back situation, that first run here, we've got I'm still shocked that Elliott went before Barkley. And the reason why is because I think
I am
Barkley
too.
is a lot more reliable. Elliott's got a brand new head coach out there. and Mike McCarthy's known for not running the ball.
Yeah.
So I don't exactly know what the Elliott workload is going to be like for him in Dallas this year. So I would have gone with Barkley over that. I probably actually would have gone with Kamara over Elliott as well. But you got lucky and got Kamara
At 5.
at 5.
I feel lucky with that. Somebody taking a quarterback before me pushed more value towards everyone else.
Now,
So,
why did you not choose somebody like?
well, we talked about Dalvin Cook. I couldn't do
But
that. Derrick
Derrick
Henry, I think, is
Henry
going to
or-
regress. He was too good last year. He's going to have a down year this year. You got to play the odd. Like, I love players that had bad years last year. They usually have a good year the next year.
And I get that, but where I'm coming from with this is not a PPR league, and
True.
Kamara gets a lot of great points
From
from
receptions.
receptions.
But the year before last year, he was a great runner too. Not this last year. That's why I think he's going to rush the ball a lot. I believe in it.
I think the
I thought it was
loss
a great
of Mark
value.
Ingram has been the biggest heel for Kamara. Since,
Yeah,
but,
he's a year older though. So
yeah. So
that's fantastic, Steven.
we'll
All right, so you want to go?
but then after our run we have Michael Thomas and Tyreek Hill with the wide receivers, the only two wideouts taken in the first round.
Which I think are the only two worthy of a first round pick
Right.
in 12-person league.
And then Travis Kelce. What do you think of that pick by Rich?
I don't know. He did it twice, so he's committed to it.
Yeah.
And then he took Clyde Edwards-Helaire right after at the end, which is exactly where we predicted he would go, even in Kansas City, which
Yeah.
was smart. That's
Yeah.
a great 2 picks in a row. Travis Kelce, I don't like taking a tight end in the first round ever.
I would do it in a PPR league in a heartbeat.
Yes, but not on a standard league
Yeah.
with no PPR. I agree.
Yeah. And that's kind of where my whole problem with we'll go through my team later, and I'll tell you my biggest fault with that is that I went wide receiver heavy in a non-PPR league.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at Larissa.
Larissa is the number 1.
All right. So
we'll just run through them, and then we'll give some points on it and try it less than 5 minutes a team. So Patrick Mahomes, number 1. Miles Sanders, running back, number 2. Mike Evans, third round. Then Allen Robinson, wide receiver, 4th round. Then Jonathan Taylor.
they've got it right there, right? They can
Okay.
Well, I guess if they're doing the podcast, they can't
Yeah.
see it. Good call. Okay, keep going.
Gronkowski in the 6th. Emmanuel Sanders in the 7th. Sony Michel in the 8th. I hate that pick. Took a defense in the 9th. Baltimore. Kerryon Johnson the 10th. John Brown the 11th. Greg Olson. Then Justin Tucker. Gardner Minshew and Philly.
2 defenses right there just irks me.
Yeah, that's a wasted pick with the Philly at the end. I would have taken a flyer on somebody else.
Yeah, just kind of take a
I
chance
love
on
Minshew. I think she could have got a better quarterback as a backup quarterback. I really like her draft overall. The rookie Jonathan Taylor, I think, has the best chance of all rookie running backs to have a good year.
So my first big
Sony Michel
warning
is
sign-
injured, and he puts the ball on the ground all the time.
Yeah, my first biggest warning sign is Allen Robinson in Chicago. I know a lot of people are really high on him.
There's
They
a lot of
think
hype.
My thing is only if Foles is going to be playing. Trubisky starts. I don't see Allen Robinson amounting to anything.
I wouldn't be surprised if Foles does start, just because isn't the offensive coordinator
Matt Nagy, who
was his offensive coordinator?
was his quarterback's coach.
Yeah.
Whenever he was with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I like this angle
So,
much better.
but
My
Allen
fat
Robinson was my
face.
first big warning sign. 'Cause I just don't trust it.
I like it.
Then you
I
get
like it
to
better. You look at let's see.
the tight ends. Her tight end situation would be fantastic 5 years ago.
You're right. Yeah.
Rob Gronkowski and Greg
Yeah.
Olson. I'm sorry, but they're not going to amount to much this season. I don't think. I know that everybody loves Gronkowski and they're really big on him.
Again, a lot of hype. They
Well,
have
it's
3 great tight ends on
OJ
that
Howard,
team.
Cameron Brate. I mean, it's going to be a loaded
There's a lot of
chance.
way to spread the ball.
Yeah,
She could, I bet you week 2 she drops Philly defense and picks up another tight end.
yeah,
But I mean, overall, I think what would you give her? I'd give her a B.
yeah.
It's
B+.
pretty solid. Yeah, it's pretty
It's
solid
a
for.
reliable. Because you got a reliable 1, you got a good 2,
It's got a
and a
decent
very
team.
solid 3,
Yeah.
and wide receiver Mike Evans. Her number 2 wideout, is questionable with Allen Robinson, and she doesn't really have a backup for him. John Brown's your boy, but
I like it. I think he'll be good.
Emmanuel Sanders hurt. Could be. No, he's not hurt. I'm thinking of that guy in San Francisco. Never mind.
Debo?
Yeah. So Emmanuel
And the rookie.
Sanders, so
That you drafted.
yeah.
So let's go BJ.
All right.
Team 2. This turned into a shit show. He started good and then fell apart. I don't know if he was he was drinking. He was doing it. He was zooming from a bar. So we assumed by round 11 he was wasted because this draft goes off the rails. Christian McCaffrey, number 1, or his first pick in round 1. Pick number 2, solid. He fell to you. You got to take him. Kenyon Drake, I love this year. Lamar Jackson. I mean, he's locked up right there. I mean, that's good. David Johnson.
I mean, at that point, you throw him as the flex, I guess.
Yeah. Devontae Parker.
That's good.
Round 5, I like. Jared Waller got a great tight end in round 6. So far, good. AJ Green, you kind of roll the dice there. He could have a great year. He's, like I said, players have it down. You don't think so?
No.
I like it.
Very bad year.
Marvin Jones. That's a guy with, the floor is, and you know what you're getting.
As
he'll
long
be good.
as Stafford stays healthy, Marvin Jones is at least.
And Javaris Landry, kind of right there in the same neighborhood. You know what you're going to get. Latavius Murray, now we're drafting handcuffs for somebody else's running back.
And
Ashon Jeffrey.
Ashon
Jeffrey. I haven't heard his. I mean, how old is that guy?
Alshon
He's
Jeffrey.
probably not even that old.
I don't know. He's had 2 back-to-back seasons plagued by injuries, and Eagles have already kind of buried him.
And they have wide receiver depth problems now, but he's still far down the depth chart. And then Antonio Brown in round 12. We did 15 rounds, by the way. Antonio Brown, that's not even on a team. And if he is it a 6 or 8 game
8-game suspension?
8-game suspension. So you're telling me you're going to sit on him for 8 fucking weeks and wait?
And there could be more brought down once he signs to a team.
And then to compound that nightmare, the next round you draft Josh Gordon, who's not on a team currently. Mm-hmm. And also, is he going to serve a suspension this year?
I'm pretty sure he would.
Yeah. I mean, that guy's got to be on his fucking strike 7.
I have no idea.
And then Chargers defense, which I like late. That's good. And then what is that?
Kicker.
A kicker.
Yeah, the biggest kicker.
Yeah.
So
when I was entering these picks, a funny one was your tight end was ranked 300th. Most of these players on Yahoo are around 200, and kickers are around 250 or less. Antonio Brown was in the thousands, and so was Josh Gordon.
So if they hit, they hit, and we'll all call him a genius. But there's no way he's going to hit on 3.
In 3 weeks, he's going to drop both of those guys and pick up the hot hand, or take a shot.
AJ Green, Antonio Brown, Josh Gordon have got a lot of question marks to where
he'll end up dropping all of them and picking up somebody.
Yeah. So, but his first 4 picks, I really liked. I mean, he just started off real strong. He's
got a solid
you get Christian
starting
McCaffrey,
team. His bench is dog shit.
Christian McCaffrey is 1,000 yards receiving, 1,000 yards rushing last year. Lamar Jackson was an 1,000-yard rusher with God knows how many touchdowns passing. Kenyon Drake was another 1,000-yard rusher. I mean, those 3 picks alone could give him opportunity to go.
So what grade do you give him?
I'm giving him a B. I'm giving him a B+ as well.
Oh, I'm giving him a C+.
Because I really like most of his draft after. I mean, other than 4 players, I really just don't. But his players that he hit well on.
All right, let's do Dave.
All right,
David started strong. All right,
back on.
All right, so Dave. This one was probably my least favorite, but. I know we'll just run through them and then we'll talk.
So David is really bad at paying attention at picks that have been taking
in fantasy football.
Yes, but he, out of fairness, he was I think on a conference call with a client, so he was multitasking. Not a good multitasker at all. But so I'll I'll run through them real quick, and then we'll touch on this up. So he had pick number 3: Ezekiel Elliott, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Marlon Mack, Le'Veon Bell, Sammy Watkins, T.Y. Hilton, Aaron Rodgers, Deontay Johnson, Justin Jefferson, Keyshawn Vaughn, Vance McDonald, Michael Pittman Jr., Jack Doyle, and Koo, the kicker for Atlanta. I'm not going to try and pronounce his first.
Koo.
All right. So first pick, Elliott, good. Eckler, I like.
I love the Eckler pick. I think Eckler's going to have a spectacular
I think he will
season.
too. When it came to his 3rd-round pick, Keenan Allen, he was so lost, he was just saying names.
Yeah.
And finally said Keenan Allen. And literally on my list, he was 19 wide receivers down from the last wide receiver
What was
taken.
available.
And so Keenan Allen in the 3rd round, give me a fucking break. That should have been like a 4th or 5th round pick.
And with
Marlon Mack, you just drafted a backup or a timeshare guy.
So the first part with the Keenan Allen part, I mean, let's go ahead and just throw this out here. Tyrod Taylor's not going to throw to wide receivers.
He is.
He won't.
Did you watch Hard Knocks last night?
Not yet. He'll check down every time, and that's
Yeah.
what makes Eckler such a great pick in
Yeah,
a PPR league.
But Keenan Allen's not going to be like the long X receiver anymore because he's older. I mean, I'm not saying it's a good throw. I like Keenan Allen this year, but I want him later.
Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell, I think, is injured now, and he got hell in practice.
Yeah.
Sammy Watkins believes in lizard people, and
round 6 for Sammy Watkins, who's gone undrafted.
he has.
In a
You
couple
could have
weeks.
got him way late.
Yeah, that was a big stretch.
Hilton is old as shit. He has like
I love T.Y. Hilton.
I love him, but he's
reliable. You cannot, and with a great, he's been
Aaron
reliable.
Rodgers. These are all like old. This is like fucking old people.
T.Y. Hilton is produced with Brissett. He's produced with Luck,
Yeah.
and now he's got Rivers. He
He
be
didn't do the
fine.
well last year. Was injured, but I think he'll bounce back.
I like Hilton, but he did handcuff him with Michael Pittman Jr., which I thought was smart. I don't think he did it on purpose.
Yeah,
but
I don't think you need to handcuff wide receivers, but I like Pittman Jr.
I like Pittman a lot this season. But
Deontay Johnson, I like. It'd be a good flex.
I will say this. I love the fact that he only went with one quarterback. Very smart.
Yeah. But you didn't, and you said you would.
I did because I want. Oh, we'll get into my.
Yeah, we'll get to that. All right, Steven.
Well, what?
Oh yeah, what
grade?
grade? C.
C minus.
Yeah,
Maybe a D.
not even a C plus, just a C. Steven, I thought had a great draft.
Yeah, this is
by
one of
the
my
way.
favorites.
I was so impressed. He didn't ask like, and when he did ask one question, I suggested Kareem Hunt like round 5, and he didn't even. Oh, maybe you did. You got him in 6. Maybe you got him later. I love this draft. He like just went best player available and filled out his roster really good.
Yeah.
So Saquon Barkley fell to him at 4, which is great. George Kittle, AJ Brown, Kyler Murray, DJ Moore, Kareem Hunt, Marquise Brown, San Fran defense, Tyler Boyd, Matt Breida, Mike Williams, Blake Jarwin, then kicker, Bucker for Kansas City, Jared Goff, and Tariq Cohen.
So, right off the beginning, he's got 3
solid,
very great
he
players.
just filled
4 or
out
5.
his starting roster.
Now, the biggest question mark is would you want to start Kareem Hunt or Breida at the second running back position? Because we don't know what Kareem Hunt's going to be available to do in that. We don't know if Breida is going to be a timeshare with Jordan Howard or not. So his number 2 running back situation is a little bit of a question mark.
Yeah.
But every other part of his draft is on point.
And he's got Tariq Cohen in the 15th round, and the running back for
Tariq Cohen is really good in PPR leagues.
Yeah, so but it's the starting running back just got injured. He has just hamstring. Yeah.
But so we'll see what Tariq Cohen could do. He could be the starter. But my favorite pick of this whole draft of his, Mike Williams.
Yes.
The Los Angeles Chargers, young stud wideout. And I completely forgot he even existed.
Really? I
wasn't even on my radar. And then whenever he drafted him, I was like, are you kidding me? Why haven't I even thinking of this guy?
I mean, people have been sleeping on Mike Williams. And you got to watch Hard Knocks.
Yeah. I think, and then the Blake Jarwin as a backup tight end that's stellar. Like, Tyler Boyd will be the number 1 wide receiver for Cincinnati if Burrow decides to throw the ball, if he doesn't throw interceptions. Like, I love this pick.
I give
or
him an
this
A.
draft. This is the only A that I would give is going to be to Steven. So good job, producer.
Dude, you were awesome. All right, I'm next.
Can I be
Reid.
honest? This seriously, like I drafted because doing all this shit.
Yeah, see?
Like somebody's been listening to
Yeah.
this.
I don't think it's any known secret, but like I'm not the world's best fantasy football player.
Yeah.
Like, I literally just did it. One, this is probably the first draft that I've done sober.
Oh, okay.
In all reality, yeah. In all reality, completely sober. And then just by listening to you guys too. So
Awesome.
Well, all this
Keep
will
listening.
probably change in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's already players now, after some camp.
We'll see
Reports.
if the NFLPA decides to boycott the whole season.
Yeah. Hold on. All right.
God.
So I
Go
went
through
number
your
5. Alvin Kamara filled me at 5. They got Joe Mixon, Chris Carson, who went running back heavy. And then I went wide receiver heavy. Juju Smith-Schuster. It's Calvin Ridley, but you're a dumb fucking put up Riley Ridley. Stephon Diggs, Hayden Hurst, Buffalo defense, Matthew Stafford, Christian Kirk, Adrian Peterson, Mike Gillespie, Ben Roethlisberger, Damian Harris, and
Kwame Fairbairn.
for the Texans.
You don't actually have Rosas.
I know,
His
but you put
release.
that on there because he beats his wife. So I went running back heavy. I think running backs are hard to get.
They're
the number one bell cows.
Especially in a non-PPR league. And
Yeah.
other than Kamara, most of your running backs are run first.
They are, yes. And I just wanted to have running back depth. And I was going to go wide receiver round 3, but I took Chris Carson because he was still there. I couldn't believe it. And then I went.
Why? Okay, so why are you excited to take Chris Carson?
He's going to be the starter for.
He was going to be the starter last year and the year before, but he always gets hurt because you're an idiot.
He'll be fine.
No, Chris Carson was a terrible pick. You
But-
also missed on Joe Mixon. Like I don't.
I love Joe
running backs.
Mixon. Joe Mixon has been going at the end of the first round in most drafts.
You've got good running backs that by name, but they're not going to amount to jack shit.
Well, Josh Jacobs was gone. That's who I really wanted. But I'll take or Drake. But I like Mixon. It's going to be fine.
No, it's not.
So I've got 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers. Start off. I think I have a pretty good tight end.
I love your tight end.
One of the best defenses.
Yeah.
And Matthew Stafford, although he did not practice today and told the whole world the Lions are taking the day off and not concentrating on football, I think he's going to be a good.
Yeah,
quarterback.
hopefully he stays healthy because the Lions are nothing without him.
Yeah, and Kirk, I like Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk's healthy.
Yeah.
He's very smart. We don't know what's
He's
going to
a pretty
happen with
good
that
flex.
offense with the thing, but he might be a great set-in for
That's going to be the best
for a bye week.
offense in the NFL, I think. Adrian Peterson, I'm kind of regretting taking 11 now because Bryce Love is getting first team carries right now.
Him and
above
Gibson.
Above Gibson.
Well,
Gibson's a better receiver
Yeah.
and a gadget guy, but I think Bryce Love, which did not get drafted in any of our drafts,
Nope.
I think it would be a good sleeper right now.
Yeah. You can still pick him up.
I like my tight end. I like my backup quarterback, whatever. I give myself an A.
I
Yahoo gave me a B or B minus.
I give you a C plus. But I don't like your running back situation.
Whatever. You'll like them.
Mixon and Chris Carson,
You're
you're
not gonna
going
like
to end
them
up
when they're kicking your
dropping
ass.
both of them.
No, I'm not. You're
You don't-
fucking crazy.
Stephon Diggs has no idea what offense he's going to be playing in. And then you've got I like Hayden Hurst. I like
All
the
right.
Buffalo defense.
Whatever. Moving along. Oh,
No, hold on. I can tear this
Okay.
apart longer.
Adrian Peterson just seems like he's 172 years old.
yeah, but he's still producing.
I guarantee you will. But think about this. And I don't play as much fantasy football as you guys have. How many times have you drafted Adrian Peterson in the amount of times that you have
I don't
been
even want to
drafting?
guess.
I think I've drafted him once ever in my life.
Really?
Doing 3 or 4 leagues a year. Yeah.
I
I usually avoid him because every year I think this is last year. He declines. He falls apart. He doesn't return league. And every year he proves me wrong. So in round 11, I was like, fuck it. What? And because I draft him, he'll fucking get injured or retire. That's my luck.
He is a goal line threat every single time.
Yeah.
And that's what he's going to be this
He
year.
stays
again.
in shape. I mean,
Yep.
you got to give the guy credit. All he does is fucking work out.
Let's talk about Amber here.
Amber, not terrible, although I think I helped her out with the like, who should I pick? And I was like, pick this one. And I did want to say, going into this with Amber, dude, I did, because she's right next to me. So on the way, every time the snake draft, I was like, pick, because there was somebody I wanted. Like, I wanted Chris Carson, for example, and I was like, oh yeah, take AJ Brown, he's really good. So I could have Chris Carson. And you and I totally, I think, manipulated everyone in this draft, because people would be like, oh, I know. And you're like, this guy's a good tight end. You need a tight end. And they were like, okay, I'll take that tight end. You and I both, I recognize it during both drafts, we would like give suggestions.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be like, oh, I can't believe this guy's still there. You should take him. They're like they thought it was their idea. Like, I'll take that guy. And you and I would just be like, hey, we totally moved this draft around. You what? Yes. Yes. Yeah, Steven. We didn't do that, Steven. But
well, I mean,
Amber and some people in the other draft.
For any of you guys who watched our draft on our Facebook Live, you saw I was basically up there talking the whole time, and all I was doing was just like, who can I get off this list?
Yeah,
so
who can I move down a little closer to me? Yeah. So Amber took Dalvin Cook. I didn't have a coaxer in that. That was the best running back available at the point, although contract disputes. I still like Dalvin Cook at that pick. Was that 7?
No,
6?
6.
I mean, that's good value. Then she went Kenny Galladay, Adam Thielen, Melvin Gordon, DK Metcalf.
Love that pick.
Evan Ingram, Matt Ryan, J.K. Dobbins, New Orleans defense, Tyler Higbee, Alexander Madison,
Like that pick.
Preston Williams. He's
Like
getting a lot of hype right now.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, Tony Pollard, Matt Prater. So I think she actually had a really good draft. I want to thank myself and take some of the credit.
It's a very decent draft, but you get some question marks.
That's what happens when you draft like right
Melvin
in the middle.
Gordon, I'm not sold on. I don't know
I think
what's
that's
going to
be a timeshare.
Yeah, between him and
50-50.
Lindsey. And which they were trying to do with him and who was their other running back, the rookie running back that they had before, like Foreman or something? Freeman.
I don't know.
But they tried to do timeshares and Philip Lindsay and just winning out.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to happen again.
Kenny Galladay, I love. Adam Thielen, she drafts
Tyler
every year.
Higbee, I hate that pick once again.
I like him.
Los
She got
Angeles
him really
Rams
late.
do not throw to the tight end.
They do. They
don't.
did the
They
second half
only
last
in the
season.
red zone, and he only
that's what
got
counts
4
in a
touchdowns.
non-PPR. We'll see.
Higbee is not worth drafting.
I like it.
at
That's
all.
her backup. Evan Ingram, I think, is going to be great.
I think one of
She'll be
the
fine.
best picks she's got is going to either be Madison, who she very smartly drafted because of the Cook situation,
Yeah.
and then Cam Newton is getting a lot of hype out in New England right now, and might be the week 1 starter.
Yeah, they went from we're going to start all 3 week 1 and do a rotation.
Has been pushed down to number 3 behind even Hoyer.
He threw 4 interceptions in one practice.
So I think Cam Newton could pass Ryan for the starting spot.
Preston Williams, I thought, was a great pick. I bet that guy finishes in the top 20 wide receivers.
I bet DK Metcalf is
a monster.
He'll be a top 5 receiver. Yeah. I think Russell Wilson trusts him now, and I think this is going to be a breakout year for him. So
I'll give her a B+.
I'll give her a B.
All right.
I like it, but there is some question marks, and you got to be worried about some of those things.
All right. Bree was next. Pick number 7, right?
Good job.
Derrick Henry, Chris Godwin, Leonard Fournette, Tyler Lockett, David Montgomery, injured now, but supposed to be good for. Oh, I didn't know he was carted off. Supposed to be okay for week 1, but we'll see.
I just got it on Instagram. I took a snapshot.
Oh, that's how I get my NFL news. Fucking Instagram.
Well, it was off the
round 6. Josh Allen, then DJ Shark, Hunter Henry, Julian Edelman, Minnesota defense, Darwin Thompson, which had to be a right-in. Juno Smith, Ryan Tannehill, Zane Gonzalez, Boston Scott. I like her last pick. Boston Scott could be good, but she is pretty solid. I don't like Fournette this year. David Montgomery, I'm not sold on. I love DJ Shark that late, but I think Derrick Henry, I would have passed on him.
After her 1 or 2, I start questioning everything.
Yeah.
The Minnesota defense is solid. Let's just go ahead and throw that out there. It's a good defense. You can't be too worried about that.
Julian Edelman went super late.
Jonu Smith is a very solid tight end. He might end up being one of her flex players at some point because you don't really have much else that you can really do. the way I'm looking at her lineup right now, I'm looking at it going Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Boston Scott as her starting running backs, Chris Godwin and DJ Chark as her wide receivers, Hunter Henry, and then Jonnu Smith as her flex. Because I don't know what's going to happen with Edelman. Too much. Lockett, I think, is going to lose his receptions to Metcalf this season.
Yeah.
Fournette might be traded or benched for the other kid that they've got on there.
I looked this up too,
Yeah.
but yeah,
there's too many questions on there. I'm looking at a C- grade for her.
all right. Yeah, I'll give it a C or B-. I don't know. All right, Pete was next, round 8. Michael Thomas,
Love that pick.
solid. Josh Jacobs, I love. Amari Cooper, Mark Andrews, DeAndre Swift, Deshaun Watson, Debo Samuel. Going to be out a couple weeks, but solid. Will Fuller, Denver, Jerry Jeudy, the rookie, Deshaun Jackson. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking there. That's a flyer. TJ Hawkinson, Chase Edmonds, N'Keal Henry. I like that pick.
Harry.
Did I say Henry?
Yeah.
Harry. And Chase McLaughlin.
There's another team that didn't take another backup QB. Very smart.
Yeah, but I mean,
so I love
he's
this draft.
pretty solid.
I think
yeah.
this is actually my favorite, other than the
lot
running back
like-
situation.
a lot like Steven. He just filled the needs first, filled his roster, and then
The Michael Thomas, Amari Cooper 1-2 punch is awesome.
yeah.
And then the fact that you have Will Fuller, who, as long as he stays healthy, is number one guy out
number one
there.
guy, yeah.
Awesome.
In a dynamic offense.
Yeah, so I mean that there is right off the bat awesome.
Yeah, I like
Mark
that draft.
Andrews is solid. I mean, when your number one question is you don't know what's going to happen with DeAndre Swift because he's a rookie, and that's your only other running back option, that's fine.
In round 5, yeah, you could
But-
have taken Singletary or DK Metcalf or something.
Right, and you even said it best. Jonathan Taylor is probably the best at that point.
I think it will be. Yeah,
I mean, he could have gone Cam Akers for the Rams. I think
that guy is getting 13 snaps right now. Cam Akers.
Well, they're trying their best not to use them.
Okay,
I'm hoping.
we'll talk about that when we get to your draft.
Yeah.
You're next, 8.
So I'm going to give Pete an A.
I'll give him an A-. He's one of my favorite drafts. Steven and Pete, and of course I love my own draft.
Yeah, yours.
And I'm going to hit on yours.
Yeah.
If you gave me a C, I'm probably going to give you a C. I haven't even fucking read it yet. So you start with Tyreek Hill, Julio Jones, pretty good 1-2 combo, and Odell Beckham. And you're right, you went wide receiver heavy in a non-PPR
league. And so the thought
just
process
brought value to everyone else.
The thought process there was I'm already fucked in the running back situation, so I went best wideout available in hopes that maybe I can push a trade for somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally the best situation I could think of.
All right, round 4, Russell Wilson, then
Love that.
Devin Singletary, Cam Akers, Noah Fant, New England defense, Philip Lindsay, Jalen Reagor, Chris Thompson,
There's my boy.
Brandon
Ayuk.
who's injured now.
Yeah.
Denzel Mims was injured a couple weeks ago.
He is healthy.
Is he now?
Yeah.
Brandon McManus and Alex Smith. You took that was kind of a homer pick, and you
feel
drafted
for the
that
kid.
because you liked the fucking 30 or
I really did love that 30-30. And, just to watch Alex Smith come back
That's a good
and the
fly,
way
yeah.
he's played and the fact that he's throwing the ball better than Haskins. I mean,
Yeah.
I know he's not even going to be on my team at the end of the year because at some point he'll be dropped.
Name me
for
somebody that isn't throwing the ball better than Haskins. Name anyone.
You.
Exactly. Yeah, I bet I could beat him out. Yeah.
So my
I
problem,
got to check down though, but I'll beat him.
I have no running backs. I don't like my Devin Singletary. Everyone's like, oh, he'll be fine. I don't trust it.
I think it's going to be a timeshare thing
With him and Zach Moss, and
Zach Moss will get the goal line carries.
I am worried about my running back situation. Philip Lindsay,
Malcolm Brown is getting first team snaps over Cam Akers, and they showed this on Hard Knocks last night, but I read it the day probably when they filmed it and they tweeted about it or talked about it. Cam Akers yesterday in a scrimmage or 2 days ago got 1 carry, is a 13 running back, and got stripped by Aaron Donald.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to run the ball after I got hit by Aaron Donald either. He's a
He
rookie.
got one carry the whole scrimmage.
So even when I got
you think
Akers,
they're
I
protecting him?
took. Oh yeah, most definitely.
All right.
I ended up snagging Philip Lindsay. Hopefully, and
I like
then-
him. And that late, that's a great
Great value.
yeah.
So then it came down to, all right, I'm going to take shots after that. Like that
You
literally
did.
was going to come down to it. I only am going to take shots. I went with Jalen Rager for Philadelphia. I love this kid out of TCU. Then I went with Chris Thompson, the backup for Fournette right now. And he's got great hands. He's probably better for the
receiver.
PPR.
Yeah.
But I still like the kid. Ayuk and Mims both, could be something. But since neither team has a solid number one right now, both of them could have big seasons.
I love Noah Fan. I love your tight end. I
Yeah.
love you got him late. You got the quarterback you wanted.
Now, I got an F on this draft on Yahoo.
See, I wouldn't do that too.
And I think it's hilarious.
Did it give you a reason?
All sorts of fun reasons.
Okay.
That I
I
did.
like it. I give you a B minus.
Yeah, I'd give myself a B as
It's
well.
not sexy, but it has teeth. You've got three great
Great
wide
wide-
receivers.
Exactly.
A top four
Great
quarterback.
I mean, I could easily trade
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill for somebody like a Josh Jacobs or Alston Eckler if I need to, because I still have two solid producing number one wideouts.
Yeah.
So it just comes down to the fact that I've got these options.
I wouldn't trade that one though. I'd
No,
trade that.
it wouldn't be my first choice.
Yeah.
But I like it.
I'll trade you Chris Carson for Odell
No, I'm
Beckham.
not even going to
All right.
touch Chris Carson.
I'll give you a C. See, Yahoo sucks. Their algorithm is dog shit. That's why we do this, so we can.
Yeah.
Our grades are better. Dave
Wahlberg.
always drafts you pretty solid. I think he made the Super Bowl.
I drafted his team
Oh.
when they made the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. All right. Well, Aaron Jones, first pick. Not in love with. I don't know. That guy's going to regress.
Maybe. Or
DeAndre Hopkins in an offense that just is filled with people.
He'll be explosive. I don't have any doubt that
Raheem
Hopkins.
Mostert,
I kind of wanted Hopkins over Julio. I'm not going to lie.
Mark Ingram. I don't know, man. That's going to be a
The
timeshare
running
with
back
Dawkins.
situations, both of those.
It's
Raheem and Mark
I'm
Ingram.
not in love with it.
Worried about.
Robert Woods is always just kind of that lukewarm water, that middle. What is that? Round 5. That's when I'd rather have Cortland Sutton or Terry McLaurin for sure. Then Jared Cook, Drew
Love that
Brees,
pick.
Ronald Jones
Hate that
second.
pick.
Love that pick. CD Lamb, flyer, throw it out there. Kansas City defense, that's a
At
homer
that
pick.
time,
Darius Slayton, we
Love
love
that
him.
pick.
That's a great late pick. Austin Hooper,
don't
I'm
care.
down with that. It'll be good. Will Lutz, a little
Good.
early for a fucking kicker. Then Drew Lock, great backup, I think, and A.J. Dillon.
Linked him up with Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I mean, that's smart. But, I mean, do you start him?
No, you stick with Aaron Jones because you know he's the number one guy, and Aaron Rodgers wants to run the ball. He doesn't want to throw 50 times a game. He's just had to because that's how Mike McCarthy plays his games.
I think he wants to throw.
No,
I would want to throw.
he wants to run the ball. He wants to be a run first team, and that's the
You're
reason.
not talking about Rodgers. You're talking about the coach.
Well, no, Rodgers always wanted to be a run first
Really?
first team. Yeah, he hated carrying the McCarthy team. That's why he always changed the plays at the front of the line.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
So after round 1 and round 2, I start losing a lot.
yeah,
on
it's just
base
kind
pick.
of
Too many question marks throughout. I love the Jared Cook pick.
it gets gray.
The Drew Brees,
I
of
don't like
course, older. I can't trust Ronald Jones.
I think there's so many great quarterbacks that you could have got later. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to get
Ronald
him a C
Jones, I
minus.
like. I bet he could have got him
This is
a
one of
round
my-
later.
This is probably my least favorite draft so far.
Yeah,
Wahlberg.
yeah, me too. I'll give it a C minus.
C minus.
Concur.
All right, let's
Daniel
see what
is
Yates.
notorious. Daniel Yates. Daniel
Yates.
is notorious for drafting shit.
Giannis.
Yeah, but and usually when we do this and make fun of draft, like when Daniel and me and Keith would do the show on YouTube years ago, I would go and I would talk about his draft. He gets so pissed off. He gets so mad because he notoriously just drafts backups. It's bad.
Yes,
But
he
Nick
does.
Chubb, that's where we went.
I like
Pick
Nick Chubb.
11. I don't like him. Devontae Adams, who I think heard was just injured,
Yeah.
but not serious.
Yeah,
Nobody's seriously
nothing
injured. Cooper Kupp, Todd Gurley, Cortland Sutton, Zach Ertz, Jordan Howard, Tom Brady, Brandon Cooks, Chicago defense, Sterling Shepard, Daniel Jones, Eric Ebron, Matt Gay. That was a great pick because I got to telling
Use
me he was
your
gay.
joke that
And Carlos Hyde.
who signed with Seattle
Yes.
to be the backup for your Carson whenever he'll be the starter by the end of the year.
Yeah, we'll see. Nick Chubb, I'm not in love with. I think he should fall down to.
I love Chubb. I think he'll actually
round 2.
I think Chubb could potentially actually lead the NFL in rushing yards.
He could, but also he could with Kareem Hunt there.
You got to get off this case about the Kareem Hunt situation.
It happened last year.
It didn't happen last year. At the end of the season, Chubb was still their number one guy. It was literally Kareem Hunt ran the ball like 5, 6, 7 times, and Chubb was still the number one guy.
I don't know, man.
Everybody needs to get off this Hunt situation.
All right, everyone
in Cleveland. Chubb is their number one guy, and he will be their number one guy for the next 20 years.
All right, remember you said that.
Devontae Adams is a good pick. I hate Cooper Kupp.
God. Yeah, it's like Robert Woods.
Let me put
but he got Robert Woods dated 2 rounds later. That was way too early for Kupp.
Here's my problem with Cooper Kupp. He's a white receiver.
He's white,
wide receiver. As a white man, I still don't trust a white out.
I don't either. Can you name another one?
Thielen.
Yeah, I would say Thielen's better than Kupp.
Yeah, I totally would go.
He's the number one in that offense. Kupp
is wide receiver.
Yeah,
Kupp is only. Oh, good call.
Yeah,
but he's the Kent State quarterback originally. Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing with Cooper Kupp. If Jared Goff wasn't the quarterback, he would not be anything.
Yeah.
But they're friends. They were roommates whenever they were rookies. If they weren't buddies, Kupp would not be anything.
Yeah. I just think Kupp and Woods and people are interchangeable. You don't know which one. I'd rather have Woods 2 rounds later.
So then we get down to Todd Gurley, which we unaware of what could happen. He could have a big game. He could have a.
They did say yesterday he's going to have, was it 15 to 20 carries a game? They're going to keep him kind of limited, but
that's still enough to get 100 yards rushing.
Brian Hill is a backup, by the way.
Really, not Ito Smith?
No, Brian Hill is taking 17 carries. Ito Smith's third.
Okay,
I've heard good things about Brian Hill.
Yeah, so I've got nothing against Brian Hill. Okay, the Cortland Sutton pick was great.
Yeah,
that was probably my favorite pick of his.
Jordan Howard. I'm like, I don't know.
Zach Ertz, I don't trust.
I wouldn't take a running back on
Jordan Howard.
Miami Dolphins are always going to be playing from behind.
At round 7, he probably had a better shot because Jordan Howard may have dropped.
I'd rather have Zach Moss. Or
Brandon Cooks could blossom into something.
Tom Brady was I love that. Late as his first quarterback. I think that's fantastic. That's good value. And Daniel Jones backup.
I think Daniel Jones should start over Brady. I do like the Ebron. I think Ebron will actually probably start over Ertz. If I was running his team, I'd probably start Ebron. But Brandon Cooks, Sutton.
I'm not in love with it. I'll give it a C+.
Sutton and Ebron and probably Devontae Adams and Nick Chubb. Yeah, C.
Yeah, I'll give it a C+. It's all right.
All right, Rich.
Last pick, number 12.
He had 12. He was number 12 in both leagues.
Yes, both leagues, and the same 2 picks.
Same in both. I think all 4.
Travis Kelce, a little early for a tight end, maybe.
Reliable though.
Reliable, yeah.
You said he was reliable.
It is. It could be your flex, but he didn't draft another tight end. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Should have.
He did. He took Goddard.
Okay. All right. Well. Then Clyde Edwards-Helaire, James Conner, Dak Prescott, Terry McLaurin, Michael Gallup, Zach Moss, Pittsburgh defense, Jameson Crowder, Tevin Coleman. I don't even know where the fuck he plays anymore.
San Francisco.
Okay, Jesus. Carson Wentz, Dallas Goedert, Henry Ruggs III, Greg Zuerlein, Antonio Gibson.
Okay, so
I love Helaire. I mean, I think he's going to be good. High ceiling.
James Conner,
I love in the 3rd round.
The James Conner is,
be good.
He regressed last year, so I hope we're all hoping that he's with
Ben back
that it's going to open up the running game because basically all Hodges and Mason Rudolph, all they could do was run the ball, and that
throw up ducks
exactly, and so that ruined James Conner's carries.
Yeah.
McLaurin, I like.
He's the one bright spot.
Exactly.
Washington, we're going to still call him the Redskins. One great bright spot on the Redskins.
But then if that's going to be your number 1 wideout and then Gallup's your number 2, I mean, we don't know what Gallup could do because he's going to probably lose some receptions to not Judy, the other one.
Ruggs?
Lamb, CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
So that's tough.
So right there, so what are we talking about flex here? Jameson Crowder or Zach Moss is your flex player?
I mean, almost at this point,
that's not good.
You're either guessing on Ruggs.
Yeah.
Hopefully that is something, or maybe even Dallas Goedert. But I mean, he's the number 2 tight end of Philly.
You're right, because he went early on quarterback and tight end. He kind of fucked himself in the flex spot. I don't know.
Yeah, it's.
Although I love Dak Prescott, I think he's going to have a good year.
I think other than those first,
I hate taking tight ends that early.
But like you said, he's very reliable.
He is. He's like a wide receiver 1.
And you know what he's going to do. But I think once again, this would be a better pick in a PPR league.
Yes.
I think at that position, I feel
like if he took Noah Fant instead of Zach Moss, then he'd have a tight end and he could use Kelsey as his flex.
If he went with Clyde and Josh Jacobs back to back, I think that would probably be one of the sexier.
That'd be solid as fuck. I would jack off on that.
Right. But he knew what he wanted, and he even said it out loud. Like, he knows that he wants the reliability. He wants players that know the playbook, and then that's why I questioned the CEH. Supposedly he knows the playbook. We'll see whenever he gets out into the game.
He's got an iPad at home.
But I'm going to give him a C.
I'll give him a C also.
It's tough getting that 12th pick, and
it is
knowing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So who do you think is going to be in the Super Bowl? Pick the 2 you think are going to get to the Super Bowl, and who's going to win.
I'll tell you this: if just by the draft board alone, I'd say Steven, me. Maybe Amber, and maybe you. But it's really all about working the waiver wire. And when there's an injury and you got to pick up the next hot hand, and you got to be the first person. You can't 2 days after waivers look at your phone and be like, "Oh, my starting running back's out," and then you look and "Oh, somebody already got the." You got to be on it all the time. I think most of winning fantasy Super Bowls is the waiver wire. Yeah. It really is.
I'm liking Steven and Pete in the Super Bowl, and I'm going to say Pete.
Yeah, I like Steven. Pete. Yeah, I like Pete too. Here's who's not going to make the playoffs: BJ, David, Rich, probably Larissa. She's really horrible at waiver wire. And if she doesn't get someone, she'll complain about it because you add or dropped in somebody that you shouldn't have because she thinks your team will be locked. And she'll listen to this after and send me a nasty text message that I brought it up. So that's what I think.
All right. So do we want to take a little break?
Yeah, we'll take a little break and we'll
go over the.
We'll do our next board that was a half point PPR. Yeah. Cool.